Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. I ain't gonna be here on too. I can't even talk. I'm not gonna be on here too long because um, I had a cocktail, maybe two and a half, so I don't need to be on here because you don't want to say the wrong thing. So I was over here and I was online and I saw that Carlos, King, Gizelle, and Robyn. Um, Gizelle and Robyn are from the show, The Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't know why felt the need to say that, but I feel like somebody gonna say, "Who is Gizelle? Who is Robyn? Who is Carlos King?" Carlos King is a producer. Anyways, so they were basically talking about the Real Housewives of Dubai. Now, I only heard the clip that they played on the Jasmine brand, and no, I'm not going to listen to Carlos's podcast. I can't get into it. And no, I'm not going to listen to Kandi speak on it with Fatum. I tried. I looked at the time, and it was an hour and 2 minutes. I told y'all I love Kandi, but not to the point where I want to listen to her talk for an hour and 2 minutes. I don't even really know what her and Fatum can talk about for an hour and 2 minutes. Quiet as it's kept, if she would have brought Don Juan, but Don Juan is an old messy queen. I live for it. If she would have brought Don Juan on, then maybe I would have sat down and listened for a few seconds. But anyways, so they were basically talking about the Real Housewives of Dubai. And they basically said that they're inauthentic, basically. And I'll put the description. I'm not going to play it, but I'll put the description, the link to the article in the description box. And I have to agree. We're just gonna have some honest conversation, right? That's what happens when you start having cocktails and stuff. One, two, two and a quarter, whatever, child. But I can't get into Dubai anymore. I tried, and I started reviewing the show, and then I stopped, and then I came back, and then started to review the show again, and I told you guys that I was gonna, see it through the end. I just can't. I can't get into the show like that. I think it's a cute cast. I don't know if it's because the truth of the matter is, a lot of the Housewives shows, it's the same formula, just different girls, right? And I don't know if it's because I'm like, girl, I don't know. I just can't get into the show. I don't know why. Um, I feel like even with Chanel, Eon, who is, I guess, if you want to call her the star of the show, I guess, but I don't really see a star of the show. But if you want to call her the star of the show, but it's like, even with her, I have to agree that while she's entertaining, I almost feel like it's almost like when I first saw her pop across my screen, I felt like she was trying to be the sassy pop your neck girl, if that makes sense. Um, but I do want to say something to Gizelle and Robyn, specifically Gizelle. Giselle. And I don't know if this was the point that Carlos was about to make, because the clip that I heard, he said something along the lines of, that's how like when we're talking about Potomac, and then it went off. So I don't know if Carlos was about to say what I'm about to say, but Potomac, Gizelle, while you're sitting up there talking about the girls and not being authentic, y'all wasn't either. Girl, y'all literally came onto Bravo. This is what I think happened. I think that they were looking for the second bunch of black girls, black women, and they chose Potomac. And I think Potomac wanted to come into the situation being the opposite of what Atlanta was, right? And I think they wanted to be the classy, it's about etiquette and tea and darling and oh my God. Girl, the girls who watched the first season of Potomac, I know some of y'all didn't start watching until season 5 to fight. But some of us who were there season 1, I dipped out season 2, okay, and then I dipped back in season 3. But for those of us that were there season 1, they came onto the scene on some whole etiquette and this is how we do it in Potomac and my great grandmother taught me and my grandmother taught me and it's tea time and we have to do this and we don't yell in Potomac and we act like this and you are a lady in Potomac. And I was like, oh girl. And I remember saying, girl, like they frauds. They are doing too much. And I was like, girl, it was good, girl. The ride was cute, but I can't get into it. Then all of a sudden, they do a complete 180. And I have not heard nothing about no etiquette and tea time and darling and this is how we do it since I tuned back in season 3. So if anybody should know about someone being inauthentic, it should be Gizelle and the rest of the Potomac cast prior to season 3. Y'all talking about let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because y'all were probably one of the group that was the most inauthentic on TV, on Bravo. I ain't gonna say on TV, on Bravo. Cause now, again, I ain't heard y'all mention etiquette, girl, and we going on season 7. I ain't heard Karen mention her great grandmother or nothing. Okay? I'm just saying. Somebody who I followed on Twitter, and it's true, because I think I'm guilty of that. I think that a lot of us are guilty of this. That basically they didn't like that they were like kind of like I guess not coming down on the because Dubai is a mostly brown and black cast, right? And I guess they were saying that they didn't really like how, or at least half, because you got Nina Chanel, Caroline, a black. Oh, you got Sarah. She's, I guess, what y'all call it? Girl, what y'all call them? A person of color? Okay, girl. Nina, I think Nina is a person of color, right? And then I think Caroline is like the only one. I think Caroline Stansberry. I think she's like the only white woman on the cast. I think. So yeah, it is. Basically, they were saying that they didn't really too much like how like, girl, y'all sitting here like sitting around critiquing basically the mostly black and brown cast, but y'all ain't got nothing to say about the other ones, right? I mean, I guess. So Kandi, speak on it. Again, I didn't watch it, but I saw some clips floating around online. Um, from what they say, honey, I did watch the after show for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Um, Girl, Marlo was gonna call the cops on Kenya. Girl. We're gonna talk about Marlo in another video because I don't feel like getting into Marlo right now. I don't think Marlo. I hate to say it. I'm gonna say it right now, girl. I don't have an issue with Marlo because I know what Marlo is trying to do. A part of me is hoping that Marlo is doing this just for TV, but a part of me also feels like, girl, you really are not made for this. Like, I think Marlo should have remained a friend of the show. Excuse me. I don't want Marlo to go back to being a friend of the show. This is going to sound crazy what I'm about to say. Because even though I think she should have stayed a friend of the show, I don't want her to go back being a friend of the show or even get fired because it would be embarrassing, right? How can you be on a show for 10 years, then you finally get a peach and then, girl, they take it back from you. So, I guess on looking at it from the, girl, it's embarrassing, right? It's kind of like, girl, y'all gave her the peach, girl, just let her have it. Is Marlo doing a lot? Yes. But girl, quiet as it's kept. This is the thing that I always go back to. While Marlo might be doing a lot, she ain't doing no different than girl, the beloved America's favorite housewife, Portia Williams. She ain't doing no more than Phaedra. I think it is absolutely insane how so many people want Marlo to be fired because yes, she does say things and go below the belt. But girl, y'all pretty much girl marching in the middle of the street for freaking Frank to come back, and we know what they have done. You got one of the most violent people on television. Yes, Portia Williams is probably one of the most violent people on television. She's gotten into how many physical altercations? Thrown plates across a room on her own show? Porcelain. I ain't talking about no plastic plates. I ain't talking about the plates you use at the family barbecue. Okay? Bravo equipment. We already know what she accused Kandi of. Repeated the lie, knowing it was a lie. We already know what Phaedra do. Right? So it's kind of like, it's weird that I see so many people who are like, this should be Marlo's last season. But then some of those same people, yes, I see these people on Twitter. And some of you girls, no shade, some of you girls I even follow. Okay? So it's like, I see some of you girls saying X, Y, and Z, but then you also want Phaedra and what's the name to come back? And I'd be like, girl, how you want Marlo fired but Phaedra back? But anyways, I'm getting off subject. Kandi, speak on it. I got a bone to pick with Kandi. Because Kandi and Fatum basically let us know that it got really, really dirty between Kenya and Marlo. And Marlo was basically talking about Brooklyn. However, they did not show it on the show, which I'm actually kind of glad they didn't. Because, once it makes it to the show, it's going to live on. Somebody put that they think that Kenya probably asked the producers not to show what Marlo said. I don't know if that's true or not. But it got really, really nasty. It got really, really low on Marlo's part. She was talking about Brooklyn. And yeah, and I think that's a part of the reason why when Sonya walked up to Kenya, it was like, basically, whatever she told Kenya, like, girl, go have a conversation with her. And Kenya was like, girl, if you don't get the hell out of my face. You didn't hear what this girl was just saying to me? I think it's weird because Kandi, you have a lot to say when it came to, and what's the fucked up thing about this whole situation is that y'all are telling us, Kandi included, Fatum included, y'all sitting here telling us, well, I can't add to other girls because Kandi and Fatum were the ones who let it be known. Kandi and Fatum, specifically Kandi, you're sitting here telling us that Marlo basically said some things that you don't even want to repeat. But based off of what I saw on the show, you would have thought, I'm going to say this much, I'm hoping that Kandi said something to Marlo about her mouth as it pertains to Brooklyn. Because Kandi had a lot to say when they were in the house and she was telling Kenya how she was agitating the situation. I always see Kandi opening up her mouth when it's time to, I guess, check Kandi or get Kenya together. But girl, I don't never really see her stepping up when it's time to really defend Kenya. And if y'all saying that Marlo was saying some shit like to the point where y'all can't even repeat it, Kandi better had opened up her goddamn mouth. I don't necessarily expect Fatum to, but Kandi and Kenya, who y'all claim they got this friendship outside of the show, you should have been checking Marlo. I guarantee you now, since you saw Marlo saying your pussy wasn't good, now you gonna go to the reunion, girl, with a bazooka ready for Marlo. Anyways, that's all I really had to say. I'm about to give me something to eat. I'm hungry. I need something to soak up this alcohol. Is that it? Yeah, Carlos, Gizelle, Robyn. All them girls was fake. Go back and watch. If you have not watched first season of Real Housewives of Potomac, go back and watch the Real Housewives of Potomac first season and see, and then compare it to the seasons now. Girl, the girls went back to the drawing board and was like, oh, this not working. So if anybody should know anything about not being authentic or being inauthentic, girl, it's the Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay? It wasn't until Candace came in season 3 and had to shake the table. It's a shaking the table for me. It's changing the course of the show for me. Anyways, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all girls later. Bye.